Are you eating the fruit of your own way? Listen, God won't always block your decisions. Sometimes He just lets you taste them, and that's not always a blessing. That's judgment in disguise. I believe one of the scariest things God can do isn't strike you down, but it's stepping back and letting you succeed without Him. Because not every open door is divine. Some are traps dressed as opportunities. And I thought I was in alignment. I was praying a little, doing just enough to say, God's in this. But what I wasn't seeking was direction. I was seeking validation. And eventually, God let me eat the fruit of my own way. And it didn't feed me, it exposed me. Now, if you've ever made a decision without God and called it just doing me, this message is for you. So let's talk about Proverbs 1 and what happens when God gives you what you asked for without Him. Let's get into this video. God won't always stop you from choosing your own way, but He will let you taste it. And sometimes that taste is a wake-up call. Now, I know we don't talk about this much in the church culture, but one of the scariest things God can do is let you have what you asked for without Him. There was a season where I thought I was making wise decisions. I was praying, kind of, right? Still doing my devotionals, if you count scrolling YouVersion for a quick verse. But deep down, I wasn't asking God for direction. I was asking Him to bless what I already decided. And every time I felt that tug just to slow down or reconsider, I brushed it off and called it overthinking. I told myself, this just feels right. But looking back, I was rejecting wisdom in the name of control. I didn't want God's correction. I wanted Him to co-sign, right? And eventually He stepped back and said, you know what? Go ahead, eat the fruit of your own way. I was like, wow. And it took me back to it took me back to a verse, Proverbs 1:29-31, because they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. They did not accept my advice. They disdainfully rejected every rebuke. So they shall eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own schemes. Ooh, God he didn't punish them with lightning. He didn't strike them down. He simply let them experience the full weight of their choices. And that's what makes this verse so sobering. Now, if that hits you, look, you're not the only one. And check out this stat. According to Barner, 60% of practicing Christians admit that they've made major life decisions without consulting God, not because they're rebellious, but because they were just too busy, confident, or didn't want to hear the word no. And this is so common, but common doesn't mean safe, right? Let's call it what it is. Sometimes the reason we don't ask God is because we already know the answer. We don't want to be told to wait. We don't want to be told to let go. So we run with our own ideas. And then we might either blame somebody else or we blame God when the consequences feel heavy. But spiritual maturity means learning to crave wisdom over validation, to choose conviction over confirmation. And if you've been eating that fruit of your own way, it doesn't mean you're disqualified, but it does mean something needs to change. Absolutely. And so here's the part nobody talks about. Sometimes the consequences of disobedience don't show up immediately, they creep in gradually. You have that a numb prayer life, a false sense of peace, a schedule full of hustle, but no real direction. And before you know it, you're full, but it's empty calories. You built something, but it's fragile. And you succeeded, but you're spiritually starved. And that's the danger of ignoring God. You look full, but live empty. So let me ask you this question right here. Where have you been eating your own fruit, but it's not feeding your soul? And what decision, habit, or pattern are you calling mine when God never co-signed it? Now here's a challenge for you. Hey, write down one area where you've been avoiding God's wisdom and sit with Proverbs 1:29-31 and pray this. God, I don't want what I can build without you. I want what you're growing in me. And you don't have to stay stuck in your own way. I mean, the table is still open, but you have to choose his way over your own appetite. You have to choose his way over your own appetite. So listen, start practicing discernment before decisions. Before you move, ask God, is this fruit from you or from me? Because he's not trying to block your blessings. Nope. He's trying to protect you. He's trying to protect your soul. D Wells, why not you?